Well, Bobbi Jo Under the Influence spotlights a Kansas City woman's battle with addiction and her path to recovery. Film critic Lonita Cook talks with Bobbi Jo Reed and filmmaker Donna Jones about turning Bobbi's testimony into a documentary.
What is Healing House and what is the work that you do there?
Healing House is a faith-based recovery housing for people with addiction issues and recovery support services. So if somebody goes to inpatient treatment and they come out, so we provide the housing, we help them get jobs, everything that they would need. Because when people come out of addiction and are trying to change their life, they really don't know how to pick up all the pieces.
Now, I know that this is born kind of your own experience. Do you want to talk a little bit about your own life and what brought you to this 20-year journey?
I started working a full-time job when I was 12 years old, started hanging out with older kids. I ended up drinking with some of those kids. And the first time I drank, I thought, this is it. I have arrived. And I would say that I was an alcoholic by the age of 13. And for 22 years, that addiction really ruled my life. Towards the end of my addiction, I had ended up homeless. I lived under a boxcar next to a liquor store, and I became an it. And when I say an it, people no longer see you. And lots of horrific things happened to me, but God seen fit to bring me out of that. And the reason I started Healing House is that early in my recovery, I figured out there were 900 women going through inpatient treatment here in our city. And there were less than 30 safe beds for the women to go to when they got out of treatment. So if your circumstance, if nothing changes, right? These women were going back to domestic violence or human trafficking or what have you. And the Lord really put on my heart, I needed to do something to help these single women.
Brent and Donna, I know that you guys, when you came back, you were still filmmakers. And then you said, we need a project, but you were looking for projects. I read that you had received scripts, comedies, horrors of all sorts. Why Bobbi Jo's story?
We have a 2 or 3 that we'd like to do, but then I heard Bobbi Jo speak and I was like, this story is just too unbelievable. You know, I mean, it's real. I just felt that this story needed to get out there. People need to know that there's people like Bobbi Jo in the world that have a lot of wisdom, you know, and a lot of answers to a lot of problems.